here with my other half. I'm here with my better half. My wife and I are going to test drive a Tesla. Now, a little bit of history on this. She's become, would you say obsessed is the best word?
Probably.
Obsessed with Teslas recently. Not really electric cars, but Teslas in general. She is a self-admitted technophile, right? She loves technology. She loves anything with gadgets on it. Tesla, of course, just scratches all those itches for her. We are going to the closest Tesla dealership near us to go test drive one. If I'm being completely honest, I am worried you might be a little blinded by all the awesome gadgets and not see it for what it is, not see what's in front of you.
That flaws.
You'll be kind of blind to flaws because you're so like, oh, it can do this. And I guess you're worried that the opposite, if I'm getting in your head, which I can do, you're worried about me being the opposite, where I'm gonna pick out every flaws and ignore the positives. In general, Teslas are expensive cars. With ICE cars, you get a lot for that price. Again, I'm kind of folding my arms and going, well, what would you get for an internal combustion car at that price? Because of our kids, we have to have the 7-seater. And what we've seen online is that back seat is not huge. So we need to see
the Model Y.
The Model Y. We're testing the Model Y. That really means nothing to me. I know that there's different letters and it spells sexy because Elon Musk has a 5th grader's sense of humor. To those of you where that means something, testing the Model Y. I am excited to see the acceleration because electric cars have a completely different style of acceleration. Apparently there is no acceleration. It's on or off, baby. And it's like you're at the Grand Prix. We're looking at you, Elon. We're looking at you. Is that a real name?
Yes.
Elon? I've never heard of that. I think he's a robot. All right, away we go. As you can see, there's nothing on the dashboard. Absolutely nothing. Everything's controlled with a touchscreen, which I already am like, technology.
I like it. Of course I like it.
Is it what you expected? Is there anything unexpected so far?
That I'm going to have to get used to because I kind of released my foot from the accelerator and it immediately started braking for me. So I'm going to have to get used to that.
Okay, so it was a little bit of a jar because all she did is take her foot off the gas. And it's on the what braking?
It has regenerative braking, and there are 3 settings for regenerative braking, and I did not check which setting it was on.
If you're watching this, you probably already know, but regenerative braking is, it goes into this mode where it recharges the battery for you. It uses the momentum and the turning of the wheel and science and wizardry to put that energy back into the battery to give you a little extra life. It's not much, but it's a little bit because there's so much, I don't know, what's the word, torque stuff on the wheel as it turns to generate that power back into the battery. It really stops the car, so it takes a little bit getting used to, but it's like it brakes for you. You don't have to push the brake, which is weird.
Yeah, so it's already stopping for me now, and I am not used to that. I guess you have to get used to the releasing the gas in such a way that allows the brake to be a slower sort of braking.
So you would release the gas slowly.
That's what I'm thinking. There's 3 modes for the regenerative braking, and those modes dictate the style of stopping. So maybe right now it's on the hold mode, I could tell when we just stopped, and that's the most intensive regenerative braking.
So this is the navigation. It's huge. That's my hand. So it's a very large screen. My daughter's getting her muddy shoes all over the back of these white seats. It's sensing these cars, not super accurately, but it's sensing the cars. And if you notice, it had the cones. There were road cones beside us, and it knew they were there. There's the lights. It knows we're going under lights. It's a little freaky. It probably knows what I had for breakfast. I'm a little nervous and distrusting. It's Skynet. You want to book it just for us a little bit? Let's
Okay,
just hit the. Jeez. Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again. There's no one in front of us. Ah.
Do it again, Mommy.
Does it feel like a sports car?
Yeah. It's definitely sportier than the
Then a
Odyssey.
minivan. Some customer who was there who was getting his Y 7-seater serviced overheard us and said, hey, you want to see what a 7-seater looks like? And it is small. An adult could not fit back there. He said, 10-year-olds is about the limit of comfortable seating in the back. So, not good if you want to keep a car long term and you are beyond a family of 4.
Justin is dubious.
So here's the shot of the interior a little bit.
Get up, Daddy!
We're at a red light, baby. Backseat driver. Now we're on our way back. They have these destinations pre-programmed, so he just made one called work and then one called home. Home is back to the dealership. Biggest takeaway so far from you is?
Learning how to handle the regenerative braking is something to get used to.
Yeah. We came to a complete stop on a ramp coming off the freeway, and she didn't use the brake at all. And she just wanted to test how far it would go, and we did go past the line. And you said you didn't brake at all, right?
I did not put my foot on the brake at all. I was purely just taking my foot off of the accelerator. I was trying to test my theory of like how you release your foot from the accelerator is how you can control the stopping process. Okay, so Justin is getting his chance to drive. Yay! I hope he likes it. Your first 30 seconds.
It's very responsive. It's not like a golf cart where there's some squishiness to the response of the engine to the pedals.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty responsive. You hit it and it goes.
How do you feel about the regenerative braking?
I mean, it's definitely something to get used to. I think I could get used to it pretty quickly. That's the best mode to be in, right? Because it recharges the battery quicker than the other modes.
Yes, I think you're correct.
Okay. There's a lot of Indian restaurants around here. Is that where you want to eat? No.
I want to eat there.
You do? You want to eat Indian food? If you were going down a mountain, like where's the limit on the regenerative braking? Will it come to a complete stop? It won't just roll all the way down a steep hill, right?
If you're in hold mode, it will come to a complete stop.
Oh, okay.
And actually what's kind of cool about going downhill is you actually do improve your range by going downhill. But obviously the opposite is true.
For
When
the
you have
map-
a lot of steep hills.
For the
you
map,
lose.
does it use Google or its own
This is, I believe, its own system.
map? Okay.
Because it has all of the like Tesla supercharging locations in it, and it will actually tell you where to stop on a road trip.
So that's nice that you don't need your phone or an app on your phone to connect to your car. You don't have to have the app.
Have 2 hands, Daddy.
Yes, ma'am. Jeez, she's a driver's ed instructor. I think I got used to the regenerative braking pretty quick. This is a charger station, this pad right here. So she's charging her phone right now. It's nuts. It's
Wirelessly, you just set
Yeah.
it down and it's charging. It's really awesome. We're headed back. We're less than a quarter of a mile, I guess, from the Tesla dealership, and our test drive is ending.
So your dream is ending, I'm sorry.
No, not necessarily.
I see what you did there.
Can you tell me what you thought of the test drive?
I was blown away by how responsive the pedals were. I got used to the regenerative braking. I am unbelievably impressed by how well it drives. I had no idea the pedal and the braking system would be so responsive. It's so natural. My biggest concern is our family fitting into the 7-seater. That is still a huge concern for me, because that back seat,
It's tight.
it's a joke. I mean, really, it's tiny. You gotta calculate, okay, how expensive this car, how long are we gonna have it? Used ones, of the recording of this video, used ones are pretty much the same price as a brand new one.
Oh, sometimes more, actually.
Well, and you have to wait a year to get these cars.
No,
to get
it's
them
more
brand
like
new.
5-6 months at this point.
A year! That was our Tesla test driving experience. No high pressure salesman. It was very low key. The guy didn't even demand that we talk to him afterwards. You know, usually at other car dealerships, come back to my office, let's talk to you, and they almost pressure you into getting it. He was like, okay, see ya. Really? Really? We're just leaving? Okay.
There was a little encouragement to order as soon as possible. because of how long it's taking to fulfill orders right now, especially with all the shortages and things. So there was definitely some encouragement, but it was, like you said, it was not high pressure.
My biggest takeaway was the things I mentioned before, that I was amazed at how responsive not only the pedal was, but how tight the steering was. I was concerned with the touchscreen being the interface for everything. So if you want to just, adjust the temperature of something, it's not like a car now where you just turn the dial, just push the button. You have to go into a touchscreen non-tangible menu and hit these icons. Now there are ways to make them on your quick, what do you call it?
Almost like a shortcut.
Like a shortcut on your
Yes.
laptop. It would be, you can make shortcuts and put stuff you use all the time, so you're not scrolling through menu and after menu after menu, and you can make it real easy on yourself. But I think that would be a thing I would have to get used to, is not having buttons. I'm an old man, I like my buttons. Let's hear from the expert. Was there anything you were most surprised with?
I wouldn't call it surprised, because every bit of research that I'd done, people had talked about the braking and how different that is. I wasn't surprised, but you just don't know what that feels like until you do it. I think that's something that over time I actually will appreciate. Having that, I think it will be something that I come to love. I am the opposite of Justin in terms of the technology. I love the interface. I guess there are some things that, like, it would be nice to have a quick button to be able to just push and get that done.
It's hard to predict the future, of course, but are all our kids going to be in soccer or karate or ballet? Will 3, larger kids, older kids, larger, they're going to be huge, will 3 kids' stuff all fit in that car? I mean, we got the trunk in the back and the small trunk in the front.
The frunk.
The frunk.
The front trunk.
Don't get frunk with me. That's one thing I'm trying to imagine, okay, and, we don't know how tall our kids are going to be at 10 years old, but the man who let us see his was like, yeah, it's about, most people guess about 10 years old is the limit to be comfortable in the back, because your head is hitting the glass on the top after that. So someone my size would be sitting like this. There is a voice command that most features of the car are connected to, so you can ask the car to do almost anything.
I enjoyed it. It was a good experience. Overall, I would say it made me feel like I want the car more.
Comment, like, share, subscribe, or if you want to, if you feel like it. How about that for a hard sell?